Hello, people! Welcome back to the Big Three, the Only Three, the Deep Three NBA show. I am your host, Miguel Fernandez. I'm here alongside Nicholas Lujan. How you doing today?
Doing good. We back, people. Yes, sir. How you doing? I'm good. It's rainy
Yeah,
day. I'm here.
in the crib, counting down to the playoffs. We back. But today, we talking about the teams that couldn't. We have our final teams that are making it to the play-in tournament. Our playoff seeds are locked. Now we're gonna show some love to the teams that aren't gonna get discussed for the next 3 months until draft lottery, until draft
Pretty much.
starts, draft coverage starts. We're gonna give them those teams some love today.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you're already seeing teams sitting out their uh their stars or running less minutes with them and giving burn to the guys that haven't been getting minutes during the season. So it's that type of time for those teams. So what I'm saying, they're just looking what they could get better at for the team for the next season.
for sure. We're gonna jump straight into it. We're gonna start off out west in the Western Conference. Worst record in the West: 20 wins, 60 losses at the moment. 2 games left, and that is the Houston Rockets. Jalen Green hasn't put together a stretch of great games, 30 plus streak. Hasn't been done since Allen Iverson. They still have the young cats in Alperen Şengün and Josh Christopher and those young guys. But the question is for this team, what's the next move? Is Christian Wood staying? Is Eric Gordon staying? John Wall? Like what do you think they need to do heading into next season?
So obviously they have a young core. We know that their young core is like really good. Honestly, so we're talking about Kevin Porter Jr. We're talking about Jalen Green. We're talking about Oscar and Sengun, who showed a lot of highlights this season. You know what I'm saying? A lot of flashing flash of him being a star. You know what I'm saying? So the young core is good. I think what they need to do is I think Christian Wood is probably the greatest move, and try to move him and John Wall probably to get a big superstar. I think that's probably the best way because they're obviously they saw him out this season for a reason because they were trying to look for a trade for him to stay healthy and not get a injury because his contract, you know what I'm saying, is very big. So if he gets one more injury going into it was over, they're gonna have to pay him for the next year. Pretty much, they're gonna hold him, but I don't know. I think you just move those guys and try to move a superstar. At
No, it's
least
too early to do something like that.
a superstar. You're gonna have to move. I mean, for that money, it's gonna have to be superstar.
He's getting paid like 10 million a year. You move him, you get some draft picks, you get an expiring contract, and you move it like that's how I see you should do it. Same thing with John Wall.
It's a big contract,
You're
though.
talking about Christian Wood.
No, we're talking about John Wall.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Christian Wood this whole time. John Walls, yeah, you guys are trying to get off of it. Simple as that. I don't know what else. You're not gonna be able to get a star for John Wall. That's a fact. He's not that good of a
You could
player. He's
definitely trade Christian Wood for sure. His contract is very easy. A lot of teams are gonna want. They're gonna move. They're gonna move anything for him. They can get something pretty good for him,
yeah,
especially
I
for
think
his
so.
contract. It's not a lot of money. What is it like? Three? It was like
10 mil.
10.
2 more years at 10 mil a year.
Yeah. So like you know what I'm saying, that's nothing. That's nothing. So a team could definitely sign him. He'll go to a contender. I mean, you know what I'm saying, and then bring pieces in. But they're moving the right way. You know what I'm saying. They got a young core, so we'll see what happens with them. They could probably definitely get something. They could definitely get a vet for John Wall's contract though. I think a vet move could be pretty good, like a guy. You know what I'm saying, like hitting his age. I don't know. We'll see. There's
Yeah,
there's
for
there's
sure.
a couple guys that could go. You know, I don't know. Tobias Harris could be a good move over there, but I don't know what they're gonna give up.
I would if I'm them, I'm not making that move either.
But
I'm trading. I'm trying to get a young guy. I'm trying to get
Russell
somebody
Westbrook,
that's
Russell Westbrook.
hell no.
I know, but those been the talks though. Now I'm talking about talks in general. What they've been talking. I mean, they've been. You know what I'm saying? I don't think they mind taking him back, but it would be stupid because John Wall. I don't know. I think John Wall would definitely fit better than what Westbrook's doing right now for the Lakers, especially just the pace. He's way better at pacing the game, a better guard playmaking. So I don't know.
Now,
But
if I'm
LeBron's out though. LeBron's pretty much. I think LeBron's gonna be out. I think he'll be signed.
well, when we get to the Lakers, we'll get to that, but I don't get on the whole Lakers spiel. We still got a couple teams before we get to them. But for the Rockets, it doesn't. Tobias Harris, Russell, those names make no sense to me.
But
If those
who
are
else
names you're
is
bringing up,
available?
but
Who are
you're not.
available?
Why am I trading my bad contract for your bad contract? Like that doesn't make no sense. Russell Westbrook is all if he gets there, all he's doing is stunting the growth of Kevin Porter Jr. of a Jalen Green. If I'm them, I'm getting a. I'm trying to split it into like, give me somebody's poo poo platter, give me somebody's bad contract. Maybe like when we were talking about the Clippers, them trading like a Batum or them trading like just these smaller contracts. That's what I'm going for if I'm them. I'm looking at these other teams. I'm looking at maybe like an expire, maybe like a team like I don't even know. Honestly, I have no idea. I didn't really think about a John Wall trade. But to be honest, if I'm them, if he's not gonna play, you just buy him out. That's how I see it. Like, there's no point. You guys got to negotiate something because you're not getting no value back for him. You might have to give up a draft pick to get rid of him. Like that doesn't make no sense. And Christian Wood, you try to get a first round pick
You think you could put
minimum.
both of them together?
No, that's too big of a That's too big of a salary. That's like 50 something mil or almost 60 going out the other way. If that's the case, you're getting back a lot of contracts.
It is right. It is a lot of money.
So that's too big. That's too big to go. Like you could do Christian Wood and Eric
You
Gordon
could do
together.
a three-team trade, so you never know what could
Yeah,
happen.
that would be too. That would be, but
Like
that's
that's
complicated to even think about.
that would be. You're saying that would be the most. I think that would probably be the most convenient thing to happen though. If you might as well put them all in one trade, a three-way trade team, and they go each to the other team.
So let me ask you this question: You're the Houston Rockets. You have the first pick in the NBA draft. Who are you selecting?
First pick. It's tough because I got Sengun right. I'm guard deep for the young core. Those are the guys I want to move and see the future with. I don't know about Kevin Porter. I don't know how that situation is. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm saying, they be up and down with him. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he has the trust yet, to be honest. But I don't know. Do you go with a big man just
I
because
go
how?
with Chet. I go with Chet. Me personally, if I have the first pick on that roster, I go with Chet. I
You go with
think
that and
I
then you
think you
play what
stay away
Sengun at
from.
the floor, or you
You
just
could play them together. I think
I
they
think you
each
play
could
them
flip
together
flop
too.
playing the 4 or the 5. Like I think Sengun moved his feet well on the perimeter this season, but you're gonna want him down low. Like you've seen it this season. I think you could play two centers together, especially with both of them having at least the ability to shoot the ball. Like eventually they're gonna grow into that. I think
I
they both
wouldn't be
have.
surprised with Apollo either because you could Sengu's been he could put up a little bit more weight. He's actually has great timing. If you watch him, he's actually it's not bad. He's decent defense for his you know what I'm saying for his height.
Yeah, I think so too. I think he's gonna become like a
You know what
smart
I'm saying?
defender,
So
kind of
I
like a
think
Jokic type of
you could
defender.
also go with Apollo either one honestly. And in that situation, you know who I'm gonna go with, and I'm gonna go Apollo. I'll probably
Yeah,
go Apollo and go single. Just because you know what I'm saying Sengun's shown a lot of you know what I'm saying he averages one block, you know what I'm saying, as a rookie only in 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying in 20 minutes he only plays 19.7. So I think he's gonna get way more minutes. You know what I'm saying he's averaging what 9 points. He's efficient if you look at his you know what I'm saying for 20 minutes he does his thing out there.
yeah, he had a solid rookie season.
So if you could put up a little bit more weight, I think his shot blocking he has a great timing. Obviously, he's gonna go against like an Embiid, Jokic, a big center that you know what I'm saying that could put weight on him like a Capella. Maybe he might struggle, but you know what I'm saying he's still young. You know what I'm saying I think you might as well go with Paulo at that point because you they knew they do need like a winger that could play the four and the four and the three. He could play either one.
I don't
Because
know. I personally, I wouldn't want like I just think Jalen Green. You don't want nobody taking shots away from him on that team. So I feel like Chet, he's gonna be able to affect the game without having the ball in his hands. That's how I really see his fit being perfectly over there. Because you don't want him, you don't want the ball out of his hands. He's somebody that you want taking that last shot.
but,
And
but
if that's the case, then what's the point of having Paulo? Because you're gonna want him to do the same thing.
But I don't think Paulo. I think Paulo's the other way around. He's not the type of guy that's gonna have to take a lot of shots either.
I don't know.
He's
I
gonna
think he
he's
is.
gonna take them, but you see him play around Duke. You see he had a bunch of good players around him that could score the ball too. who did really good in March Madness. I think he's say he doesn't mind. Obviously, it affects more Jalen Green. I don't think it will affect him more, but I mean his defense. Saying that is a problem, honestly, for his position. And we seen it when saying he went against North Carolina. It was a bunch of scores. They have good scores, and it was tough for him. So I don't know. Probably go Paulo Che either one. You're gonna have to go big man in
I
this one
think,
because
but Jalen Green can't play with Jabari Smith. That's for a fact. That you
yeah,
can't go
that's
that direction.
Jabari Smith is a guy who's gonna need
They're similar in styles.
yeah, for sure.
Let's move on to Oklahoma City Thunder. They don't have anybody coming off free agency next year. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander's big contract kicks in. They're building a young core of Josh Giddey, Shea, Lou Dort, Isaiah Roby, Darius Baisley. You have trade man. So next year, what do you really want them to see them go out? I think their whole spiel is based off of the draft. Like what moves are they going to make over there? Are they going to trade for an extra top pick? Are they going to try and move up? Because
For
they have
sure,
the draft picks for it.
for sure. I think in the next couple, if it's not this one or the next one, they're gonna move up just because there's so much draft picks they got and there's so much talent that they got. If you really think about it, there's just another, they're the same situation as Houston, just a bunch of a young core, a bunch of young guys. I'm saying they're doing it, then they're just still young. They're getting used to the game. Shea's obviously the biggest vet out there. Who's been consistent the last. If you think about it, the last 4 3 seasons, he's just been dropping 25. He's been averaging around that, if I'm not mistaken, the last 2 seasons. He's just been a great scorer. He's been developing a lot. I think you go with a big man, honestly, in that situation because it's just a guard deep. Depending, all all depends on the where all these numbers land. Depending, but it is a very big it's a deep center power forward draft if you think about it. So if they're in the top five, I think you try to go with a big man.
Yeah, for sure.
I
And
think it
I
doesn't
think you
make
can't go
sense.
wrong with and any of them. They all fit over there because they just need
Yeah.
they need somebody that can score. Like that's what I think they need. They need play finishers. I think Josh Giddey's a play creator. Same thing with
Or
Shea. Shea's a great scorer, but I think you need somebody alongside him as well that's gonna be able to go get you
so,
a bucket.
like, look, I'm gonna just obviously we know Chet he's probably a big candidate over there. Obviously, depending where he lands, if he goes out first, then if they don't go for Chet, I wouldn't be surprised if they go with AJ Griffin. I think AJ Griffin is also a great pick for them, just because you got a what's this guy's name? Darius Baisley, who he's been decent for them at the center. He's a guy. He
Power
reminds
forward.
me. They say he could handle the ball. He kind of
Mhm.
It's kind of underrated. It's like a bit like a Robert Williams, like a Bam Adebayo, guy that can handle the ball. I think
But I don't know.
he
He's
has
not a
the flashes.
center though.
He,
He's not a center. He's a
he's
small
like
forward. He's a small forward. He's a
but he
small
plays
forward.
like the power forward for them. If you think when they go small, they go really small. They really don't have that. They don't have a deep center.
You just compared him to Robert Williams, who's like 7 foot, like 260.
He's
Just
like
asked.
six.
He's
He's
more
like
of like a he's
6'9",
more of like a Jared Vanderbilt
that is a better
because
comparison.
he doesn't have a big frame either. He's just lengthy, he's athletic. He could put the ball on the floor. Like he's decent. I like Darius Baisley personally. But I would agree with you. I think that AJ Griffin wouldn't be a bad pick at that spot. If I'm them, I go after either Paulo if he's in
Mark
that
Williams,
if they could get that spot, or I think Keegan Murray will be perfect for this team.
you think so? No.
A play finisher, somebody that's gonna go out there, he's gonna run the floor. You're gonna be able to give the ball to him in the pick and roll.
Oh
Like
yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
that
You're right.
he's gonna be able to screen. He's gonna be able to pick and pop. He's gonna be a lob threat. Like he's gonna be decent defensively. He probably has a higher upside than people give him credit for on that side of the ball. I think
Yeah,
he'd
it's
just be
like
perfect
talent.
for this roster. Or a Jabari Smith. I think somebody who's just gonna get shots up, who's gonna score. That's what you want on this team, honestly.
No, now that I'm thinking Kiko Murray makes sense. I don't think Jabari Smith does. Just cause Shea, and then you got Josh Giddey that's a walking triple double who's gonna need the ball. Who's gonna have the ball? Shit doesn't make sense if you go
He
Jabari.
I Jabari, you're not giving him the ball to bring it up the court. He can do that. But I'm talking about
He,
play finishers. And that's what Jabari Smith is. You get him the ball, he's cutting to the basket, or he's hitting a wide open three, or he's putting it in the ice, so he's put the ball on the floor. And Josh Giddey's going to put him in situations to score. I think you can't go. I think Keegan Murray and Jabari Smith are similar players. So I look at them the same way. Like I'm evaluating them the same way. I'm expecting them to play similar roles at the next level. And I just think those two guys would just be those are the two guys I would go with. Or Apollo. Like play finishers at that level. And one more thing, I want to see them go after somebody like a Mo Bamba. Go after you have all this cap space. Why don't you throw somebody that's had a restricted free agency? Like throw some bread at one of these guys that are
Come on.
you need a big man. They don't really have much big man depth. I would throw a flyer on him. I'll probably throw a flyer on a couple guys if you
I
think
don't
about it.
know. I don't know about Mobamba though.
Why not? Why wouldn't you go
You're
after
just
Mobamba?
throwing money away now. You might as well just go with the young cat and be in the same situation that they've been. You know what I'm saying?
That is a young player
You
though.
might as well suffer. You know what I'm saying? And try to see get a pick instead of paying wasting their money in cat space.
You're like I'm telling them to give him a max contract.
Nah,
You have to spend the bread
but you know what I'm saying? You could use that 10 mil or something else.
on what? Like what else are they gonna do with it? Be
I
honest.
think I think they could definitely make trades for Christian Wood over there.
I guess
But
that's
Christian Wood would be a good ass fit over there.
and
And
what are they giving up for Christian Wood?
first of all, they got a bunch of draft picks, and I don't know. You probably give up uh a Ludor. I don't know.
See, I'm not doing that. I'm
Depending,
not giving up Blue Door for him.
depending. I don't know. I would honestly.
Are
I
you
mean, Christian Wood is good.
or how about this?
Christian
You
Wood's
throw
been
the
good. Also,
you
he had a
throw
great
the
season. He was a sleeper. If you watch, he had a great season.
what about this idea? You speed up the process. You throw a max contract at DeAndre Ayton. What? That makes sense. If
Phoenix
they
is
got this
gonna pay him. It doesn't matter.
Phoenix, we don't know that though. We
Bro,
don't know
it's,
that. We
bro, it's
don't know
gonna
if Phoenix
happen.
is gonna give him the contract that he wants. We don't know that. We don't know that.
I'm telling you, it's gonna happen. They gotta pay that man. He's been so good for them, and you know what I'm saying. They're about to they're gonna go to the Western Conference Finals at most, or go to the finals. You know what I'm saying. Either one, and that's a great run for them. Obviously, you know what I'm saying. But I think they're gonna pay him. They're like he's been so good for them all season.
I don't know if they're gonna pay him though. That's my problem. That's my thing. I don't
Why
know. I'm
wouldn't
not
they go
sure
over the tax though?
because they have 4 or 5 guys that are gonna be making. You have D Book who's on a full max. Devin Booker's on a full max. You're gonna have DeAndre Ayton on a max contract as well, and then you're gonna have Mikal Bridges who already got his bread, and then you have Cam Johnson's contracts coming up next
Are
season,
you telling
coming
me
up
you're
even
gonna
for.
pick Kim Johnson before DeAndre Ayton?
I'm just saying. I'm
How do you
just
do that?
saying they have a lot of guys to pay on that roster. Like we see this, we see stuff like this happen all the time. All the time we see stuff like this happen. You, I'm not saying it's a guarantee they're gonna get from the bread. We just never know.
I think they
And
pay
if
him as well.
anything,
That
if,
shit's not gonna be a
in the
problem.
way JaVale McGee and Bismack Biyombo have played this season, this is gonna give them even more reason that like it teams like the Warriors and these other teams that just don't pay centers and they just go with like
He's
vet
happy over
minimums and they
there.
play
Everything's
well.
happy. Everything looks good. I think they're good. I think they're gonna pay him. Listen, they'll figure something out.
And the scenario is, and if in the scenario that they don't pay him, are you going? If you're OKC, do you go after him? That's the question.
I think you. I think you do too. I mean, obviously, it's good as fuck. He's definitely a good fit over there. It'll be great. He'll probably be a game changer. He could definitely be that big that 1-2 game with Shea is gonna be nasty. Just because he's such a great pick and roll. He could roll. He could score. You know what I'm saying? His mid range has been developing. You know what I'm saying? Like he has a great touch around the rim. Shea, you know what he does in the pick and roll. He murders you. That's what he scores
What
in.
about what about Miles Bridges?
I
What
was
if you
thinking about Miles Bridges.
would you overpay for Miles Bridges if you're OKC?
I'll go for Miles Bridges. I think he's another great fit. But you might. He's a free agent though, right? So they
Yeah,
wouldn't.
restricted free agent. They could throw like they had the money to throw at anybody.
Yeah, so they wouldn't have to trade nobody. But I think at that point, Lou Dort, you don't think he gets traded or what? You move him to power. What does he play?
Miles Bridges is a power forward. He's a 4,
He's a
and Lou
small.
Dort could play the 3.
He's a small forward.
But that's the same shit. If you
No,
could play
it's
small
not.
forward, you could play power forward.
Depending on your size, I don't think he can. But
What, bro? He's like 6'9" and like 250. Like, come on, bro. Why?
Miles Bridges 6'9", but
No,
he's
it's
not.
crazy.
Miles
You said
Bridges is
Darius
6'7".
Baisley could play center, but you say Miles Bridges can't play center.
He's 6'7". He's not no 6'9".
Oh my god, bro. Come on, you drunk now.
He's 6'9".
Yes. I'll pull it up right now. I'll search it up. Miles Bridges is. Where did his name go? I just had him. Miles Bridges is. Why don't they have his height over here?
Yeah, because he's 6'7". I'm telling you, no.
He's taller than Darius Baisley. Miles Bridges' height. He's he's 6'7", but he's a big 6'7" though.
Exactly.
He's a big
Stop it.
6'7".
Like,
He
come
could
on.
play power
6'7" at
forward.
power forward?
He could
Come
play
on.
power forward. Yo, PJ Tucker is 6'5" and plays power forward.
Yes, because he makes up for it.
But so does Miles Bridges. I don't know. He's a four to me. He's a
Yeah,
four to me.
but don't get me wrong, he's definitely another guy. But I think Hornets paying him. Like Hornets would be stupid letting him go. Like during the
But
great
they're another team though, bro. They have 3 max contracts coming up.
fuck Terry Rozier. He's a young guy. You're going with the young talent. You trade Terry Rozier.
You could.
Like come on. Like obviously Terry Rozier is kind of young too. If you think about it, he is kind of young.
He is.
But you know what I'm saying? I think you move him to depending. You know what I'm saying? Just because Lamelo's been so good, he's a star. You know what I'm saying? All star. Terry Rozier's been pretty good, and I think you could get something valuable. It's like he's great. He's great in the market. To be honest with you, Terry Rozier, he's a great guard. He could score. I think he could be great for like a Lakers team. Obviously, Lakers, they like going for guys like that have a lot of hype around them. He's been around different. You know, what I'm saying
The
big.
Lakers ain't traded for nobody, bro. Them motherfuckers have no assets.
Yeah, I
Nah.
know they're
I can
fucked.
see
They are fucked.
I could see them moving off of Terry Rozier to pay Miles Bridges though. Depending on how much he warrants in the offseason, how much he's gonna get. We'll see.
Yeah.
Moving on though to this next team, a different path than these other two. I wouldn't necessarily say they're rebuilding, maybe retooling for next season. That's the Portland Trailblazers. Dame missed a bunch of time this season. CJ McCollum missed a bunch of time. He gets traded. They get Josh Hart back in return. Other pieces, and they get Justice Winslow back in return. They get a Keon Johnson back in the Norman Powell trade that they had this season. Nurkic is a free agent coming up as well. Wouldn't be surprised if they retain him. They keep him long term. But what are they supposed to do this season? I really don't know. Moving into the off season, they have a traded player exception. So that's gonna be something.
That's bread. That's a whole all star like at that caliber, like right there, role player.
I go after if I'm them, I go after Jeremy Grant from the
Yeah, I know
Pistons.
this the guy. I knew you was gonna say that's your guy.
But I've been saying this just since this trade deadline. I was like, that's the guy they need. They do that. They're gonna have 2 draft picks in the. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna have 2 draft picks in this upcoming draft, and 2 high ones at that, not like 2 lottery picks. Let me see. So right now they're projected to have the 12th pick, and they're projected to have the 6th pick in the draft. So that's solid for them.
That's
They
good
could
as
make
fuck.
they could make moves, and they could combine both those picks. They move up to a 4, maybe move to a 5th pick. So
Exactly.
I
And
would keep it. I would just take depth.
and the crazy thing was like Winslow's the moves that they made. I mean, they've been good. I think Winslow's been good. Especially Josh Hart, who's been probably the best guy out of the trade.
Yeah, that's been
We're very
playing.
big. We're very big on him. You know what I'm saying? When we did the gems off the bench, he was one of our gems. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a gem. Like he's like the way he could rebound. First of all, is ridiculous for his size. Like he's like right there. That's why he's a game changer there. Just because he helps so much and change uh, the game and offensive. He's just giving up shots. He's a great shooter. You know what I'm saying? He could. We seen him. He's athletic. He has that sneaky athleticism. So nah, he's definitely been good for them. I think what they did was they found more defenders. What they needed. They found them wing defenders. They've been good. Honestly, they have great wins under the after the trade. They have great wins. So, I mean, they've been really good now with Damian Lillard, Nurkic, like you said, he's had a great season. Obviously, he's been in and
He's an
out
unrestricted free agent
peacefully.
coming
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
They have
he's
a
been.
couple unrestricted free agents coming up. So they have Anthony Simons is a restricted free agent. So we'll
But they got
see.
a lot of cap space, and then they have the 20 trade mill
20 traded player
extension.
exception.
Yeah, which is ridiculous. So I wouldn't be surprised if Damian Lillard's on the phone trying to get some guys over there. You know what I'm saying? So they're definitely gonna make some moves. Tobias could be great over there. I don't know what they move for him because I mean
You want Tobias to go everywhere, huh?
I know, but
This is a
he's
really fair
not. He's not a
question.
good fit around. He's not a great fit. I think he's a great fit around.
He is a good fit, but what are they trading for Tobias? Eric Bledsoe?
I don't know. It's tough, but
That like, come on, that's
we could. They have a couple pieces that they could move. Not big pieces. We can move him for depth. We don't need somebody crazy.
I don't know. I feel like you're just talking as a fan right now. I think I think they gotta the first questions they gotta answer is what they're doing with Anthony Simons. He's a restricted free agent. How much are you paying him moving forward? That's a question you have to look at.
I
And then I
think he
think
paid him 70 mil.
70 mil.
He's a rookie. Yeah, he's you know what I'm saying, his first contract. You don't give him.
You don't give him anything crazy. Maybe he takes like a qualifying and he waits till next season to get his payday. We'll see with that. But yeah, Josh Hart's locked in till next season. Justice Winslow's locked in for next season. Nasir Little's locked in next season.
But so
Yeah, Bledsoe, which is I like the move for him. His contract's just too high. I think.
yeah,
Are you expecting them to re-sign Nurkic?
he had a great season. He was playing good.
I think he played a good season
He
too.
was looking healthy. I mean, even body shape. Even now, even when he's been out, he still looks the same. His same body shape. I'm saying. So he's been. You know what I'm saying. I think you re-sign him. But depending on how much, you don't want to pay too much and be another go. You know what I'm saying. Make a mistake and give another bad contract, and then you have to live with it for a couple of years, and then you know what I'm saying, you can't get nothing off of it, which happens a lot recently. It's been so ridiculous the amount of contracts that we giving out. The money is just so bad. So I wouldn't be surprised thing. How much
Yeah, I
you
would.
think? Yeah,
I think you get him like Christian Wood contract of 4 for 40.
yeah, that's what I'm
I think
thinking too.
I think that would be. I think
Okay,
he's a
Nerlens
solid
Noel.
starting center. Yeah, like he's not a bad defender 1-on-1. He's gonna
Or
struggle in
or
space, but
or you try to get. I think you pay Mitchell Robinson. He's a restricted free agent.
he wouldn't be a bad fit over there as well. It depends on how young you want to go with Dame. That's really
Imagine you
like
have a
I feel like
guy,
that. I feel like it
athletic
makes
guy,
sense.
just coming off the pick and roll with Damian Lillard, a great screener, Mitchell Robinson.
Yeah,
Damn,
it makes sense.
I think you do.
I like the way they're going. I think they are going younger with the surrounding talent, with Justice Winslow, with a Keon Johnson, with a Josh Hart, Anthony Simons, Nasir Little. You go younger around Dame and you build this for the long haul. I don't think he's getting traded, so I think they are going to keep him long term. So with him moving forward, they got pieces that they can move around him. And if they were to trade for a big guy, they do have young players like a Simons, like a Keon, like a Justice, like we just said that they could include into a trade. So I like the position that they're in right now, moving forward. You give it another year with Dame, see if Dame could have like an MVP type of season next year. Maybe get him like. Do you think Anthony Simons is the co-star? Is that who you're rocking with next season?
Yeah, can he play around? Can he play as second man
With Dame, yeah.
with Dame? Do you
That's the
think so?
question. We'll see. We'll see how that works out.
I think if I think he's been a great scorer all season. I think he's going to be in a better role. I think he does that. If you think about it, if you really deeply think about it, he's going to be in the scoring role, just like Maxi. You know what I'm saying? Maxi was playing guard. Now you got Damian Lillard coming back to the lineup, who is a guy who averages 7.5 to 8 assists. You know what I'm saying? Not even that. You know what I'm saying? He's the type of guy that even you see here. He's a Trey. He reminds obviously Trey Young. He plays the same style as him, but like Trey Young looked after him. He plays the same style. He's a great playmaker. So and you make him as your scorer, I think it fits.
Yeah, I have to think of it. I'm not opposed to having two guys that could create their own shot that could play on the ball.
Yeah,
I'm
because
not
we've seen
opposed
it
to
with
that
the
style of
CJ.
play.
We've seen it with the CJ. But I mean, you're saying they have so much cap space. I mean, you just gonna have to bring a wing defender, which something that you know what I'm saying they need
I
a
think
wing defender.
that's Justice. That's Justice Winslow. He
Yeah,
could
but
be their
why?
wing defender, but you're obviously gonna need multiple.
You're gonna need more. Yeah, he's that guy that come. You know, saying that stinky guy that could be on the starting lineup or coming off big, coming giving you big
I
minutes.
think he's a great fit next to Dame. As somebody that can handle the ball, that could be like a small ball four that could play the three, play multiple positions. Like I think that's a good guy to have on the lineup with Dame, and we'll see because they have been give credit where it's due. Portland has been a good development team these last couple of seasons. I feel like they've done a good job of getting guys better. We've seen it with CJ. We've seen it with Anthony Simons now. That they have done a good job of development players. We'll see what they can do with a Keon Johnson, who's a freak athlete, has great size at his position. He could do a little bit. Maybe he might be a guy that sneaks into the starting lineup next season. We never know.
Yeah, for sure.
So I like where they're headed. I think we need to really evaluate them come draft time because I think for me, if I'm them, you have that sixth pick. If it ends up at six, you go after AJ Griffin. That's the guy on this team that they need to go after. I
Yeah,
think.
but you're saying they're getting two draft picks, like
And then
even
they get the
even a
12th
Mark
pick.
Williams that could go four, or a Baycott. You know,
That's on the
something
back.
like this
Yeah,
season.
Baycott is not going in the lottery, bro. If that's the case,
Why
nah.
wouldn't he?
But what? You're gonna draft Big Con in the lottery
I
now
mean,
off a tournament
what
run?
they need, he's a great rebounder. He could be a great
There's
second
so
man.
many more big men that
Second,
they could go over after, like could go above
well,
him.
it depends.
Mark Williams would be the 12th.
I wouldn't be
If
surprised if Kiko Murray goes like falls to, if you're talking about to like a six
he could
pick.
drop. But I'm talking about like a 12th pick, that side, like that. The sixth pick, I think you go after AJ Griffin. I think he's the perfect fit. You go after a wing that's 3 and D that can shoot the ball right now, that could play defense at the next level. I think that's the you have to try and get him if I'm them.
Yeah,
And
you're
then
right.
with the 12th pick is where you ask the questions. Do you go with a big man like a Mark Williams that's a lob threat that could play in the pick and roll? You do go with that, or you go with a guy like a Baji who's able to score the ball, 3 and D player, who can shoot the
Another guard
three.
though.
What else are you gonna go with? Like what else are you gonna go with? Let me see.
I
Let's
wouldn't go
let's
with
take a look.
another
Let's see
guard.
where Tankathon has them going with the 12th pick. They have them going with Jalen Duran. That's honestly a good pick as well.
Jalen Durant's another great center.
Yeah, he'll be a good pick for them at that spot too.
Who else is around there? Like
Jeremy Sochan from the energy four could play make, could catch rebounds, could play defense. I think that would be a good guy to pick up at that spot too out of Baylor. But like for me, like yeah, if I'm done, I'm looking for wings. I'm looking for or like a Malachi. He's 6'5". I don't know. It's hard. It's hard. It's tough. It's tough. Do you go with upside or do you go with win now players? That's the question.
there you go with one now players and
Win now. So
Mark Williams is probably the guy that goes over there.
Mark Williams or Jalen Duren are probably the pick at that 12 spot.
Uswami Dieng from New Zealand. Who is
I haven't evaluated him yet. I have him written down to check him out.
Brennan
Yeah,
Ingram, Prime, Chandler Parsons, and Evan Turner. That's his comp
how
from New
tall is
Zealand.
he?
He's a forward. I'll tell you right now. He's 6'7", weighs 200, age 19.
Mm.
I don't know. He averaged 7 points, 2.9 rebounds. That ain't crazy.
There's a couple guys you go with. Or what about EJ Liddell at a late pick? Maybe they pick him with a surprise. He's a junior. His body's developed. He could translate to the NBA quickly. That wouldn't be a bad pick. But 12 will be kind of high for him. But I don't know.
Christian Koloko.
They got some pieces they could go with.
Christian
Christian
Koloko.
Koloko will be a solid pick. 12 will probably be a little early for him, but he's one of my favorite picks in the draft too.
Yeah, 12 will be early. I was just gonna say that 12 is a little early.
Yeah, I think it's Duran or you go with, or they're gonna probably go with Mark Williams. I think those are the two guys to watch out for them
Or
at that
Benedict
12 spot.
Mathurin.
Matt Duran, but that's another guard. So like if you don't want them to take another guard, then he's not. There's no point in taking him either.
Not yet, but you're talking about if there's guards up there, then I'm gonna throw him. I think he could be another guy that could go
He
as
would
well.
be. He would be a solid pickup for them. It's a little reductive of what they get with it from a Dame and Anthony Simons though. If you think about it,
Yeah.
like he's like a true scorer, could really just put the ball in the basket. Abaji's more of a 3 and D. He's able to move without the ball, stuff like that. But I like Benedict Mathurin. I like him to go higher too than 12 for sure. I think he's gonna be like 8-7 range. But I like both of those players. We'll move on.
And
The,
or surprisingly, I wouldn't be surprised to go with Shaden Sharpie just because of
that's
what
the upside pick. That's the upside pick.
because the situation how they went with Anthony Simons too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Picking him up on the same type of saying situation coming out of high school playing for IMG. You know what I'm saying? They just picked him
Yeah,
up.
that's the guy. I think I gotta watch out for the Blazers for sure. Because he's gonna
So
be
I
a
wouldn't be surprised they go with that level of situation. Look what came out to them. It ended up benefiting them. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go and take a risk for it again. But I wouldn't honestly. But if I get the sixth pick, like you said, probably AJ Griffin's on the board at that situation. I don't
yeah.
know,
I
but
would go
I
AJ
wouldn't be
Griffin.
surprised if he goes early too. You'll
Yeah,
say
just because the up and like we've
depends
seen
on
it.
what team it had.
Yeah, and players like him, they rise up draft boards so quickly. Like we see it time and time. We seen it last year or 2 years ago with Patrick Williams, 6 man in college. The whole year didn't start, no games, but pre-draft workouts and everything. Teams find out his wingspan, all that, just shot him up the draft board.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was
he went
wild.
fourth. So like I think, and I compare them. I think they're similar coming out of college. They remind me like similar play styles. Like yeah, for sure. I think but Shaden Sharp would be that would be the upside pick. That would be like we have time.
Yeah.
You go if that's the case. You go first pick upside. The 12th pick is like win now. We're gonna be able to like do something. Kind of like how the Warriors did it this past draft, but they end up switching because Kaminga was the upside pick at 7, and then Moses Moody was like that he's gonna be able to walk in and play basketball in the NBA right now with the second draft pick they had. And it
But
turned
it
out that
happened
Kaminga was the guy that was draft ready, that was NBA
or
ready.
vice versa. Ended up being
Exactly.
vice versa for
So I
them.
think I could see them taking a similar position at that. And then next we have the Sacramento Kings. You have a star already in De'Aaron Fox. I consider Sabonis as well a star. So they have two building blocks already. Traded for D Vincenzo. They still have a couple guys on the roster like a Davion Mitchell who's just shot up, had a great second half to the season. Like, I
Just
think
a
they
holiday who
yeah,
just
Justin
almost
Holiday, Jeremy Lamb, they've been playing well for them as well.
yeah. It's tough for them. But then the situation that they're in, I think it's halfway through the season. They're in the same situation as the Bulls when they did the Vuk trade halfway through the season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, last
I
season. Yeah,
think,
yeah,
yeah,
agree,
like
agree,
you
agree.
just gotta give it time. I think you know what I'm saying, you get these teams to play a whole you know what I'm saying, get used to each other, play another season. I think obviously you could make a couple of trades depending if I think they obviously want to win now. I think that's a move for them because they would have obviously never traded for Sabonis, a center caliber player like that. So I think you know what I'm saying they have a couple of pieces they could move. We could see what happens with them. You know what I'm saying? They have great fans. They're at one point, you know what I'm saying, before the Warriors, they were one of the loudest arenas to go visit. So, you know what I'm saying? The atmosphere is good over there. I think what they did with those trades, they got something out of it. I think that's probably the best situation scenario that they could get off Buddy Hield and all that stuff that they had going on.
Yeah.
So it's been really good for them. I don't know what they do honestly. It's just really tough. I think you just play again, or maybe I don't know. You just trade Justin Holiday, who's a guy who's valuable in the market. You know, what I'm saying
I would keep him from them. Like if you're trying to win now, I think I would try and keep Justin Holiday. I think he's a
I would
great
too,
player to
just
play
because
next to Sabonis. He could shoot the three, he could play defense. I
exactly
feel like he's a good connecting piece between Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox. If
for
I'm
sure.
like if you're looking at guys to move on this roster, I think Raquan Holmes is the guy that jumps out.
Yeah,
Him and a Harrison Barnes, even though I like Harrison Barnes in this role as well.
but it's tough though with Quan Holmes right now because his personal reason. I don't know if you know what it was. It was pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah, yeah. I don't even want to touch on that, but that was
Pretty
Yeah,
much his baby mother saying that he was putting his hands on the kids and stuff like that, which is probably not the case. But you know, what I'm saying they always, you know, what I'm saying these situations, you know,
they pop out every year.
it helps a lot. It affects a lot, especially him being now, you know, what I'm saying a piece to move. I don't know. Do you move him? I don't know. But I don't think it's that serious. I think, you know, what I'm saying he's gonna end up beating the case. I don't think he would do such a thing. Honestly.
Being the case. I feel you. I feel you. We'll see what happens with that. But yeah, that's another one
I
that you
mean,
got to keep
he
an
had
eye
to
on
sit
now.
out, man. That
Yeah.
shit affected him. To sit out for he said it was personal reason, and it was like what 20 games. Like right after the trade happened, he played a game or two, and then boom, did you know what I'm saying personal reasons. He was at first he was missing a couple games out for personal reason. Then they're like, okay, the rest of the season he's out for personal reason. Then a week after that he announced that, then that came out, and it was because of that.
And so they have a couple payroll situations that they could address this upcoming offseason as well. Jeremy Lin, unrestricted
Jimmy
free agent.
Lamb,
Do you try and retain him? To me, I don't really
I
don't
don't
think
think
I
so.
wouldn't make it a priority. Depends how low the contract is because I like what they got from Terrence Davis before he got injured. So and they're very similar play styles as well. They're gonna give you a scoring punch. They're gonna bring you good defense. They're gonna be a decent ball handlers at that. I think they're similar players.
He's
I would
probably the guy that gets moved. To be honest with you.
but he's an unrestricted free agent, so he's not
Also,
unless you
they,
get him in a sign and trade, which I doubt it. I doubt a team is doing a sign and trade for
hell
Jeremy
no.
Lamb. But a guy that they need to watch out for is Dante D Vincenzo.
Yeah,
What are they doing with his contract? Restricted free agent. And I would have retained him if I would try and retain him if I'm them.
hell yeah. I would too. You know what I'm saying? He had an injury, came halfway through the season, barely. You know what I'm saying?
He never really got able to catch a rhythm this year
Exactly, and this happened like in the worst moment, his injury.
in
You
the
saying right
playoffs.
before
Yeah,
the right? It was like before
it
the
was during the playoffs. It was during the first
yeah.
round.
So he got to miss most of, you know what I'm saying, the playoffs of that season, and then the next season, and then you know what I'm saying he gets to sit out. Obviously, he missed a lot of time. It affected him. Obviously, you know, saying he showed. You know, saying he showed sparks. You know, saying he's a Villanova kid. You know, saying he's his IQ. He's always been good. You know, what I'm saying he's definitely a guy that if you want to win, that's the guy you want to have around your team. You know, what I'm saying he showed it with Milwaukee. Obviously, it was probably tough for Milwaukee to try to move him because you know so the amount of years that he was there and the amount of minutes that he was playing and how important he became so quick for them. It was just like surprising for him to get traded. So I wouldn't, you know, what I'm saying the Kings, you know, what I'm saying I think they're gonna resign him. I think you had to pay him. You let go Jeremy Lamb. I think that's probably the one guy they're gonna try to get and retain.
Yeah,
Most likely.
I wouldn't be surprised if they retained Damian Jones as well. Because I like the minutes he's given them throughout the season. I feel like he's just a good energy big to come off the bench. Like I like the minutes that he's given them. He's got a little bit mobility guarding the perimeter. Like I like him a lot. But yeah, the big man room is kind of tight for them. They don't really they have, after Sabonis they don't really have no standouts. Like they had a Nemish Quartet, a rookie. He's a restricted free agent as well. So we'll see if they retain him. I wouldn't be surprised to give him a two-way next season.
Metro been good though. Like
Yeah,
surprisingly,
Chemesi Metu, he's definitely staying.
he's
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 been
had
probably
a
the biggest, like you know, what I'm saying he's probably been probably the biggest thing that happened in him this season.
Trey Lyles gave good minutes too, so
Yeah,
he's on a team option. I think he's gonna get retained as well.
yeah,
I really liked what he was doing on Detroit.
yeah. I
Like I
liked
feel
him
like he
too.
played
Yeah,
he played
yours.
well. He's played well this season.
He's always been good though. I think you know, what I'm saying he just gets moved, but he's always been a decent role player. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everywhere he's been at. So
So you're looking at next season. Are you projecting so I think your locks in the starting lineup are De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, Harrison Barnes. And then you have there's two more spots. Do you go with a Justin Holiday and DiVincenzo? Do you go with a Justin Holiday, Davion Mitchell? Do you go small and you put DiVincenzo at the three with Davion Mitchell at the two? Like, how do you like that? How would you want that to even out?
I go Davion Mitchell at the two, make him a scorer. We see how he's been developing as a scorer.
If
Like
you want him as a scorer, wouldn't you think it would be better for him to come off the bench?
I don't know, I because then DiVincenzo's there.
But DiVincenzo isn't like he's a shooter.
But
He's like a 3D
you
wing,
see,
but I'm
yeah, but
considering him a
he's a
scorer.
type of rhythm guy. He's gonna. You see how good he's been. He's been so good for them when he's in the starting lineup.
D Vincenzo.
No, I'm talking about Davion Mitchell. How good he's
Yeah,
been.
at this moment, right? He's playing great basketball. Exactly.
It's
So
probably
I,
been his
and
best basketball ever since the trades. I
he's
mean,
had the ball in his hands a
definitely,
lot.
yeah, exactly.
So
And it's scoring like it's not his defense hasn't been as gassed up as you know what I'm saying what he's known for. It's just been his offense, the way he could score in the mid range or his mid range shooting. He's been shooting efficient. You know what I'm saying? He's been good. He's been
yeah,
balling.
he's been great this
Great
second
at
half of the
attacking
season.
the
He's
rim.
been
He's
really
been
good.
great at attacking the rim. He's just been getting better at reading defense. I think that's the biggest thing. And he's becoming a scorer. And you know what I'm saying? Darren Fox could, you know what I'm saying? Either one. They could handle the ball. It doesn't matter. They go switching. Either one. It's like, you know what I'm saying? They could take turns. Obviously, Darren Fox is obviously the better scorer. But, you know what I'm saying? Davion Mitchell's been the guy who's been he's been averaging like 15 points. Obviously, he averages 11, but ever since like the trade, like this last 15, 20 games, he's been
It's ever
averaging like
since
15 points.
it's ever since they pretty much shut down De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis. Like they haven't played in a couple weeks, and this is where Davion Mitchell's. He's just pretty much he's had the keys for like the past couple weeks. And he's just been putting up great numbers, been playing great basketball, efficient, everything. He's been playing great. But if you're talking about from a spacing aspect and like getting the most out of Davion Mitchell, wouldn't it be he's coming off the bench, he gets to run the second unit, he gets spot minutes with starters like throughout the game as it goes. But wouldn't you want to keep him and De'Aaron Fox as separated as possible since you want him to score the ball? Like since you want the ball in his hands, Davion Mitchell, the way he's shown.
I
So
don't
like the
think.
way I'm looking at it, hold on. The way I'm looking at it is I would go I would go Fox at the one, right? DiVincenzo, his backcourt mate, a 3-and-D shooter that can space the floor for them. And then you go, as your front court, you go Sabonis with Harrison Barnes and Justin Holiday. Both the outside of Sabonis, the two of those guys can shoot threes. They can move, they can switch positions, both of them. They can handle the ball a little bit. Harrison Barnes will probably be like their third playmaker in that lineup. He's had a great season as well. That's how I believe it. Then you have DiVincenzo. Then you have Davion Mitchell coming off the bench, still getting starter level minutes, playing what he's playing the minutes he deserves, scoring the ball, he's getting more shots up. You see it. We see it like with Tyler Hero right now. Like he's coming off the bench and he's getting his shots up. And he's still playing great basketball. I think that's a position you want Davion Mitchell in next season, just for spacing. Because him and De'Aaron Fox, like I wouldn't consider. I think Davion Mitchell. I think the both of them can shoot, but I wouldn't consider them shooters. They're not going to get guarded like shooters. You want those two guys shooting the ball. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. No, yeah, for sure. Obviously, like but I don't know. He's been so good, but I don't know. We'll see what happens. I mean, either one is a great. I
Yeah,
think
I think the
either
real
one
question
you
for
don't go
me is
wrong with.
between him and DiVincenzo.
Yeah,
Who
because
you going
you
to start
know,
between the
I
both of
think
them?
Holiday's gonna probably most likely take that fourth spot. You know what I'm saying? He's a good defender, shooter, corner
Yeah,
shot.
him
He
and
plays with
Barnes.
Sabonis. Him and Harrison Barnes are good too. You know what I'm saying? They could play around each other. I mean, that's probably gonna be the toughest situation what they're gonna have to figure out this season because you know what I'm saying next season they're gonna have to figure everything out because who you gonna sign and all this stuff and who you and do you make a trade? Do you actually make a trade before the season? There's a couple guys that are gonna get moved and have a chance of getting moved. Just big guys in the market. A couple guys. It's nothing crazy. It's not a big off season you know what I'm saying market. So we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
So at this moment, they have the seventh best odds to win the lottery. So they could have like between 7 and 4 would probably be most realistic for them. It could go all the way to 9. I expect them to finish top 10 in the draft. If they're at the seventh pick, for you, do you go upside with them? I think a guy like Shaden Sharp will be perfect over there. Like he's another guy like because you go for like a 2-3, somebody that could play multiple positions, that could score the ball, that can handle that could pretty much a guy that could dribble, pass, shoot, defend. Like that's what you want. Every team needs those. You have that in Harrison Barnes, a guy that could do a little bit of everything. I think you go for one more of those and you go after a guy like Shaden Sharp. Or I wouldn't be mad if they just double up on size and they go after AJ Griffin for upside.
I think, yeah, depending. I mean, Shaden Sharp, like you said, his comp is what like Paul George. They saying,
Yeah, his
uh,
comp is like a 3 level scorer athlete, like a Paul George, like a
yeah,
Bradley Beal, like
a Bradley
somebody
Beal.
like
Yeah,
that,
that's what I
like
seen.
high upside, like a Jalen Green, like
Yeah,
something like that, like similar to that. I think he has his frame is more filled out than Green is.
yeah,
Would
but
you?
You could go with him.
Would you like a
Even
Benedict Mathurin over there at six
he
seven?
could be
He
good.
could
He
play
could
the
be good.
2-3.
Or you know who's another guy that comes in mind? The guy from what's that team that you were sending? The guy you sent me a video. It's Roy something. He's the guy you was telling me about it that they lost in the first round.
I don't know.
What's his
I sent
name?
you so many prospects, but you have to give me a little more something I could work with.
You know who I'm
Give me
talking about?
no you. I sent you so many prospects. You have to give me something else that could base this off of.
You don't know who I'm talking about, right?
No, you need
Let
to
me
give me
see.
something else I could work with. I tell you too many prospects. What position did he play?
He was like a small forward, power forward. He went crazy. He had like 20. He had a good start in his game. Damn, what's his name? I'm still looking right now at the list to see if his name comes up. I know his team was ranked like number 6. He was talking. You sent me a video about him. David Rody.
Oh, he's not a top 10 guy.
No,
He's
he's not. Yeah, he's 31.
yeah,
Damn,
he's like back end second round, maybe end of the first. Like he's like it's crazy. I'm on Ticketon right now, and that's who they have him projected to go to at 37 to the Kings. So he would be like a second round pick if they could get him. Then that would be good. But if we're talking about like first round, like I think you go after like the guys I just named, Shaden Sharp, AJ Griffin, Matherin, maybe even. I wouldn't be mad if they went like upside and they would go
Johnny
with a
Davis.
fun pick. What?
Was it Johnny
Johnny
Davis?
Davis. Yeah, he would be solid. It's a little reductive because he's also a non-shooter as well. So he's similar to De'Aaron Fox in that aspect that they could get to the basket, but they're not really short, like not really shooters. But you
Maybe
can't go wrong with
Chris
that
Middleton.
pick.
You don't think? I mean, his comparison is Chris Middleton.
Yeah, like from mid range, that's how I see his 3 pointer. Yeah, that wouldn't be a bad pick. I wouldn't be a bad pick. I don't see it right away make it fitting, but eventually, yeah, you could definitely make that work. I wouldn't be mad if they went for upside and went with a fun pick like Dyson Daniels,
Yeah, I
like
was just gonna
a
say that
big
from
a
the
big
night.
guard that can handle. Dyson Daniels would be a
Is he
fun
good?
pick.
Like I haven't seen him.
He's
He's
a
6'6".
she's
He averaged
Australian.
11 from the 3 point line, 73.7 from the free throw, and averaged 4.5 assists, like around 5 pretty much.
Yeah, so he's like a 10, 5, and 5 type of guy. Good rebounder for his size. Could get out in
He has
transition.
and he hustles and he has great playmaking. Kyle Anderson, Derek White, Evan Turner are his comparison.
Yeah, that's how I
Australian,
see him.
he's Australian too, so
That would be a fun pick if I'm them. That would be the guy I'll probably go with. Nah, if first pick, if these guys aren't on the board, I'm going with ranking them in this order. I want to see them go after AJ Griffin, Shaden Sharp, Benedict Mathurin, and then Dyson Daniels just for shits and giggles. That's what I want to see them go after. That would be a fun one.
what about
But
Jeremy?
yeah, it broke up. What did you say?
You think what about Jeremy Shojan?
Soshan from
Wilson, yeah, from
Baylor.
Baylor.
He would be a solid pick as well. Another energy guy, another a good playmaker. He'll fit the role. He's kind of it's just kind of reductive between him and Sabonis, but honestly, it will work. I like having high IQ guys, and that's what he is. So that'll
A
be
Ben
perfect over
Simmons that
there.
can shoot. Like what?
He can't
That's
shoot.
what
They be they be gassing with these comps, bro. Nah,
29.9% from the three is decent. I think you could work with that.
what was it?
29.9. I think you could
Yo,
work with that.
29% is terrible, bro. Like he could grow into a shooter. Like I'm not saying
Five
that at
percent
this moment he's
more
not a
away.
good shooter.
I think you could work with it. Like yeah, obviously it's not that good. You get better at it if he works. You know what I'm saying? Works in his craft.
That would be a solid pick though. That's another one. He would be a good fit. He could play multiple
He
positions. He has
could
a high IQ.
great
He's a good
rebounder,
yeah, he's a good defender. He's kind of like what
great
like he
defender.
reminds me of what Kuzma was on the championship teams. Like
Draymond Green. That's what they're saying. Draymond Green, Ben
that's
Simmons,
what you're looking off of Kevin O'Connor shit, right?
yeah, Gordon O'Connor shit.
Yeah, I like him as well. Jeremy Sochan. He's young as well. He's gonna be drafted when he gets drafted. He's gonna be 19 years old. So yeah, he's gonna be. I think that's a solid guy. He's a good
That's
defender.
probably a guy that goes there. No, like if you really think about it, like that's probably the sneaky guy that goes there.
Yeah, it just depends on how you feel about him and Sabonis.
And then he could start. He could probably take just a holiday spot.
Maybe it depends if you want the spacing, because Justin
Like,
Holiday is
yeah,
gonna
that
be a
is true.
better
But
shooter
if
than
you
him.
want defensive rebounding, I mean, maybe it might help. It could help you depending.
Yeah, as long as they get enough spacing on the court.
Yeah, it's not that
But
bad though. 30%, depending on how much he's attempting. He shot 67 in total this season. That's not a lot.
it's not. He's not really a shooter though. Like that's not him.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, if he could knock him down, then maybe he could play that corner spot. But I don't know. Just how he is efficient though.
I have to. I'm gonna dive into more Germany Social film today. I need to. I gave out my top 10 in my mock draft. I'm gonna go with the next 10. I'll probably give that out on one of these next upcoming episodes. But that's it gets tough after you go to 10. It gets tough because everybody's just it's like even playing field. Like it's
Close, huh?
just too tight. But we're gonna go for one more team. We're already about an hour on this episode. We're gonna do the East probably next. We'll do the East next Thursday. We're gonna give our awards on Monday.
Yes,
So that's
sir.
the lineup for next week. But last team, they got eliminated recently, I think a day or two ago, after their loss to the Phoenix Suns. And that is the Los Angeles Lakers. Drama filled, they had a drama filled year. LeBron James, age 37. I think he's on record to get the scoring title this season. Anthony Davis missed a bunch of time.
Well,
Westbrook,
not this season.
the prime.
He's probably done for the rest of the season.
Who?
LeBron James.
Yeah, I think he didn't have enough games played.
I thought you were
He's
talking
on
about his
pace right now
scoring.
to get the scoring title. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, scoring title. Like what? Like but oh, for the most points like in total this season.
Yeah, for points per game. Is he? Oh no, he's not. He's at 30.3 and Embiid's at 30.4. So Embiid passed him off in his last game. Yeah. So he was on pace. No longer. Let me correct myself there. But yeah, Rocky season finished at 11th place at the moment. They don't have their draft pick coming up. That is going to the New Orleans Pelicans, which that's something we're going to touch
Wait,
on in the
wait.
next couple of weeks too. That's going to be a good pick for them. Grizzlies fans are punching the air right now because they were getting that pick. If the Lakers made the playoffs, Grizzlies were getting that pick.
Yeah.
But Westbrook surprisingly played the most games out of their big three. He had an up and down season, mostly down. Taylor Horn Tucker's locked in for next couple of years. I think Kendrick Nunn's returning next season. They got good play out of their undrafted rookie and fuck I forgot his name.
So you signed Kendrick Nunn for a minimum vet again? Because he was on a minimum for
No,
one
he
year.
wasn't on the vet minimum. He was on their mid level exception. He was getting
Oh,
paid
so this
five
is
mil
for
a year.
3 years then.
Tax player mid level. He's getting 5 years,
Mm.
and he had a player option next year, and he's gonna take that.
Oh, okay, okay.
So yeah, there's not much else to say. But next season, what moves do these teams have? They don't have any draft picks.
It's
They don't
tough.
have they don't have much assets. Are you banking on if Anthony Davis and LeBron James play at least 50 games together, we're going to be a good team?
I think.
I don't think you could bank on that, honestly.
I think it's just because I think if Anthony Davis could play, then yes. But it's just like, can he stay healthy? No. I mean, we've seen it this season. He came back and almost got hurt again. You said. I remember you told me that same game.
Yeah. He twisted his ankles getting
Well,
worked
he
on the
ended up coming
sideline.
back. He did play the next game, so he was fine. It wasn't a big deal. But I mean, it's gonna be tough for him. I mean, it's something he's been dealing with next season. Last season, probably the bubble was probably the thing that affected him the most. You know what I'm saying? Just not having enough time to come back and let his body recover. And he went to the season and he got hurt. And then ever since, he's just been hurt in and out the lineup, in and out. Until he comes back. So maybe it was great for them to miss this playoff. Maybe
An
finally him coming
extended
back
break.
the last couple of games. He's healthy. He played a couple of games. Maybe he could go into camp. You're saying we're going to lab, go back in there, work in his game, get healthy again, and look at next season and hope they could get something for Russell Westbrook, which I doubt it, or maybe a team ends up doing them a big favor, which something I usually does happen in the NBA. We've seen it plenty of times with different teams. You're saying
They
teams
would
take.
have to give up a draft pick in that. What you think about it? They had to give a draft pick. Honestly, honestly, if I'm the Knicks, I go after him. I go after Westbrook, get him for his last 2 seasons, and you just sell some tickets in New York. If I'm one of these small teams that are struggling to sell out arenas, this and that, you get Westbrook, you're gonna be able to do some numbers. And if he's on the team by himself, we said it. I was a strong advocate of this from before the season started. LeBron James and Westbrook do not fit together.
Yeah, they
Like it doesn't
don't.
make. We seen on the Rockets at first the fit wasn't too smooth with him and James Harden. They started playing PJ Tucker at center, and that's when the floor was 4 out. Ball was in Westbrook's hand, and he was damn near MVP candidate his last year in um in
Houston.
Houston. He played great basketball to close out that season. But this year, the difference was like AD non-spacer. He's not taking much threes, and if he is, he's not shooting a good
He
percentage.
was taking them. He
But
does take a
he's
lot of. He just wasn't shooting efficient. That
yeah,
was
he
the
hasn't
thing.
been efficient from
He
three
takes
or mid range
he
since the
takes like
bubble.
he takes like 6 attempts, and he just wasn't efficient. But that's like the weirdest thing because if you look at all his numbers, he's just been so efficient from the three, and then this season he dropped to like 30, which you know what I'm saying was bad. That's what I'm saying. He needs to go back into the lab, let this season let his body heal. You know what I'm saying? Perfect timing that he comes back from the injury. You know what I'm saying? And he gets to actually recover from his off season.
Yeah. So that's they're probably banking on that.
And like I want to touch real quick on the New York thing, the Knicks, what you said. I could see that happen because I think Randall's gonna get moved. I think I think he gets moved. You know, what I'm saying we've seen a lot of signs of him not wanting to be there. A lot of situations that happen with him. You know, what I'm saying
Do you
it
think
seems it
they
seems
would
like
get
it's gonna
outbid though?
happen. Huh? Repeat that again.
Would you don't think that the Lakers would get outbid though if it was for a Randall trade?
It would be, but I'm saying you let go of Randall so you don't have to. You know, what I'm saying paying for the rest, and you could use that money and start paying Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. When does Russell Westbrook's contract expire? I want to get the exact number on this because I wouldn't mind seeing him in New
And I,
York, but that would be it
and
would
I
be
wouldn't
tough
mind seeing Randall and in
on
Lakers.
the Lakers.
Because then you move Anthony Davis. You can move Anthony Davis to the center position where you got a guy that Randall could play the four. He's a great rebounder for his size. 10,
Yeah,
11 rebounds for his size. I think
good
that's a great fit.
playmaker.
Then LeBron doesn't have to worry about playing the defensive that much. Or worried about rebounding, doing all these extra stuff when you got two great rebounders. I mean, it wouldn't be a bad fit. I don't know if the Lakers take the. I mean, I don't know if New York takes that bait with giving him up because they're better off just trading him to a different team and then taking open up cap space and take that Russell Westbrook trade. And maybe you might have to go over the tax.
I think this is a realistic scenario. Is you attach a draft pick to him, probably maybe more than one, and you send him to the team that it all started for him at. You send him back to OKC, let his contract end over there. Like I wouldn't be surprised if they did that move. Westbrook is guaranteed. So next season he's at 47 mil, so it's his last year on the contract. After that, he's an unrestricted free agent, so he has one more year. You make a move like that, you get a team like OKC. It'll probably be like this will be his last big contract. We'll see where he goes from there. But he could retire as an Oklahoma City Thunder where it started for him. The fans still love him. He didn't go on bad terms. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did a move like that. You attach a draft pick, maybe a first, maybe a couple seconds.
For sure, and you're saying I mean, they're in a situation where they could take a bad contract at this point and bring him
Exactly. Like it
back.
doesn't matter. They're not contending next season.
For
That's for
sure,
a
and
fact.
the Lakers are gonna need draft picks, and they got a couple they can move for. But I don't know. Why? I don't know.
No,
Do you
the Lakers
add
are
a
sending a
player?
draft pick to Oklahoma.
Do you add a
The
player?
Lakers are sending a draft pick to OKC. That's for a fact.
I don't know.
What you mean? You're not getting rid of. No team is taking Westbrook's contract unless the draft pick is included. It's almost 47 mil for
I
next
think we put
season.
somebody else.
No, I don't. What team do you see trading for Westbrook after the season he just had?
You could put Kendrick Nunn in the trade. Come on.
That's the what. But why is the Lakers adding Kendrick Nunn to that?
Instead of giving up a draft pick, they're gonna need the draft picks.
If they don't want to give up a draft pick, then they don't want to give up Russell Westbrook. That's just how it's gonna go. Like you trade Westbrook and you try and get like depth or something.
They
Like I
would
don't
have done
know.
it already. You don't think so? At the halfway to trade deadline, you don't think they would have done it already?
A trade like that does not happen in the middle of the season. A trade like that happens around the draft time, around
You said the
post
same thing
draft,
about
and during
James
the off
Harden,
season.
and it happened.
Yeah, I did. But that's a like a once in a lifetime scenario. A trade like that is not happening. Why do you think John Wall didn't get traded? Because shit like that does not happen during the season.
Nah, it's different. Their contracts is crazy.
Al
Bro.
Horford and Kemba
Because nah,
Walker,
come on, stop it. It
yo,
would
Al
happen.
Horford and Kemba
Their
Walker were the
contract is just
same
ridiculous.
situations.
Yeah,
Like
because
yo,
they're
they're
getting
not.
paid like over 40 something mil
Yo,
each.
that's how much Westbrook is getting paid. Westbrook
That's
is
what I'm
getting
saying. They're all
47
getting
mil
paid.
next
They're all
season.
getting paid over 40. That's a lot of money.
Exactly, and that doesn't happen during the season. Like, you don't. That just doesn't happen. They weren't even looking to trade Westbrook at the trade deadline.
They were actually. They came out and said that. They actually did.
But for what? For like
They
bad
were
trades.
talking. But they were talking about sending him back to Houston.
That wasn't happening.
They weren't talks. They were talking about it. Even legal alerts. I could have sworn they posted
Uh,
it and I seen it.
I'm just telling you right now. If Westbrook gets moved, my number one candidate, the team I see him getting traded to, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Book it. They're gonna trade for him on his last year of his deal. They don't need to add much salary because they have so much cap space. And you just let it rock next season. You sell out. You sell out every home game because Westbrook's on his last dance. He's gonna play over there for his last season. And he's gonna take a team friendly deal and be a vet over there. That's all. Like, that's what it's gonna have to be. I'm telling you, bro. Unless he has some resurgence like Chris Paul did, where we all thought he was done, goes to OKC, brings him to the playoffs. Like if he goes to OKC, are they a play-in team? Probably. They probably make
I
they
don't
probably
know.
make a play-in spot. No cap.
I don't know. Like Russell Westbrook could still be good. It was just a bad team for him. Let's
It's
be
just a
honest.
bad fit for
It's a
him. So
bad
you give him
fit.
his own roster. He has 1 year left on that deal. This is the last year on his deal.
I think I
Like
think the New York thing is could be possible too with just Randall, but
I think if
it's
that
tough
if
though.
they're
It's tough.
trading Westbrook for Randall, the Knicks are dumb. Straight like that. Because the Knicks will have to, they're gonna get outbid. Like they're
I
gonna get
know.
outbid. You don't think a team wants Randall right now? Like a team like Portland. Like yo,
But you could get.
we'll throw in Keon Johnson and we'll throw in Anthony Simons for Randall. That makes sense. Like, and then Taylor Horn Tucker, what's gonna happen with him?
Tucker's gonna
I
be
don't know.
tough
Like,
because they
yo,
don't.
you look at the Lakers payroll too. They have about
He gets traded
they
too
have
though.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They have about 11 guys that are contracts are up this season, and then two of those contracts are team controlled friendly deals where they could pick up the team option, and those two guys are Stanley Johnson and Austin Reeves. But you have Carmelo Anthony, unrestricted free agent, Trevor Reed's an unrestricted free agent, Avery Bradley, Wayne Ellington, Dwight Howard, Ken Bazemore, Malik Monk, and DJ Augustine. All those guys are unrestricted free agents, and then Kendrick Nunn is on a player option. He's definitely picking that up. But after that, like the team is going to be rebuilt completely for next season.
Yeah, for sure, for
So
sure.
we'll see where they go with that.
I think they probably most likely better off trying to resign Trevor Ariza minimum vet and let go of
You
everybody else.
bring you bring him back. You bring back Melo probably. I would bring back Wayne Ellington.
You
I mean,
bring
those are you're
Melo.
just gonna bring back the whole team back. That's pretty much how it's gonna be. How,
Hell no. I think
what moves are they gonna make?
TC he got paid. He gets traded, bro. Like he's probably the most. They will find something for him.
That's a team to look out for Christian Wood. A THT in a second for Christian Wood. Hey, that's solid, and he would be a good fit over there
Okay,
with the
with the Houston, with
exactly because
Jimmy
he's like
Butler.
a pass first player. He's a good ball handler. Like he's good on defense. I think with the fast pace that Houston's gonna be playing these next couple of seasons, it'll be a perfect fit for THT. But
For
that'll
sure.
do it for today's topic. We're gonna go to the predictions now for the next
Yes,
couple of
sir.
days until we're gonna predict the weekend's games.
The usual, the routine.
Exactly. We're gonna start off with. I'll put it on the screen actually. Let's
There's a
go.
couple games. I think we play the Raptors tonight. I think the Bucks
A couple implications
play.
are in these games as well. I
Yeah,
think
the Bucks play
it's
a big game.
yeah, it's the Bucks and Celtics.
Yeah, Celtics. That's the game. Yep.
Yeah, so here we go. Starting tonight, we have Magic at Hornets. The Hornets definitely win this game for a fact.
Yeah, they need it, and they're gonna win.
Sixers at Raptors. And is it breaking news? Matisse Thybulle
Matisse
not
Thybulle, yeah,
vaccinated and eligible to play. And
yeah,
at this moment, it's set up for a Sixers Raptors first round.
yeah. That's what it's looking like.
Yo, does that scare you a little bit? Like yo, we need him in this series because that's a guy
Yeah,
that you are gonna
that,
need in that series.
yo, that's the series we're gonna need him. I don't know. I hope. I don't know. I hope he's like, if once he figures out what happens, what side Toronto's at, I think he's probably gonna most likely get vaccinated.
But even though you wouldn't even have enough time, you have to wait like a couple weeks in order for it to like. Don't you have to wait like 2 weeks? Don't you have to have your shot for 2 weeks before you even? Isn't there like a time frame that you have to have it within? I don't know.
Nah,
We'll see how that happens, but I don't
nah,
know
I
how it
don't think
works.
so. I
I
think
think
once you
that's
get
how
it,
it is. I think it's a time frame, or you have to be boosted or something. Like I don't think it's like yo, I'm about to just get the shot and then tomorrow I'm playing. Like I don't think it works like that.
I think it does, but I haven't heard
We'll
of no
see. But
going.
that is something to watch out for. That was surprising because
Yeah,
it's came out and it's been said that the Celtics and the Sixers have either one or multiple players that are not vaccinated that
yeah.
are
So
ineligible to play for against the Raptors in Toronto.
yeah,
And
we already
nobody knew
heard
who
about
those players
50.
were. I thought it was DeAndre Jordan, but it turns out that it's Matisse Thybulle, which is like that was the last guy I expected on the Sixers to be unvaccinated.
Yeah. I wonder who is for Boston though. They have
I
their
think it's
lineup
if
is
we're taking guesses, I think
Marcus
it's
Smart.
Jalen Brown. Nah, Marcus Smart played over there. The guys that they said it was Jalen Brown, Jason Tatum, or Al Horford. It was like those three guys didn't play the last time that they went up to Toronto.
Damn, so it's either
So
one
it's
of
like it
them.
could be one of them or it could be two of them or all three. I think Al Horford was injured. I would expect him to be vaccinated. He's like a vet. He's like a
That would be wild. That would be so fucking wild.
yeah. That probably doesn't matter to them because it's looking like 4-5 is going to be Toronto, Philly. But we can go on to the next game. We have Celtics at Bucks.
I'm going.
I'm going Bucks.
Yeah, I'm going Bucks too. I
And we have
think
Spurs at Timberwolves.
Giannis is gonna just eat that game.
Spurs at Timberwolves.
Timberwolves.
Yeah, give me the Timberwolves. Give me the Timberwolves in this
I'm
one.
going Minnesota.
So hold on, I want to see if it. Oh, I couldn't find it because there's some implications going on for tonight's games. Okay, I found it. So if Boston wins, Boston clinches a division title with a win and a Philadelphia loss. That's tonight. Denver clinches a playoff spot with a win or a Minnesota loss. So they clinch the top 6 seed in the West. Miami clinches the best record in the East with losses by Boston and Philadelphia tonight, or if they win their game tomorrow. Minnesota is locked into a playing game with a loss or a Denver win. And Utah clinches division title if Denver loses tonight. So those are the implications from tonight's games.
So we could either wait. What can we clinch today?
I don't think you guys clinch anything. It's Boston clinches a division title if you guys lose and they win.
Mm,
And then if you guys lose and Boston wins, then Miami clinches the 1 seed.
damn, we got a win tonight.
Miami, if they win, they need to go 1-1 in the last 2 games to clinch the 1 seed. So if they win their next game, they pretty much have it intact because they play Orlando the last game of the season and they're
What?
jockeying for
Orlando? Do
lottery
you know who that?
position.
Do you know who that is?
Oh my
Best
god.
team in fucking Florida.
Oh my god. Yo, you said this about Charlotte too, and what happened?
They're the best team in
You
Florida,
came in,
bro.
you
They
came in here like,
always
oh,
beat you
Charlotte's
guys.
gonna win.
They always beat you guys, bro.
They
You can't
haven't beat
even
us all
act.
season long.
Yo, bro, they
They
beat
beat
y'all
us when
once.
they had Evan Fournier, and then when they had Nikola Vucevic. That's a different Orlando team. They don't have the Heat killers anymore. Terrence Ross is there, but I'm not scared of
You
Cole
gotta lose that
Anthony.
game.
Oh my god, you're a hater, bro. Just stay in the 4 or 5,
You
bro.
gotta lose that
Worry
game,
about
bro.
Toronto. Don't worry about us.
You gotta lose that game.
You say we lose every game. We got Blazers at Pelicans. Pels win this game. They needed more than the Blazers do.
Yeah, I'm going Pelicans.
Then we have Grizzlies at Nuggets.
Mm-hmm. Them Nuggets need to win this one. I'm probably gonna go
I got
Nuggets.
Nuggets in this one. I got
Yeah, I
Nuggets.
got Nuggets too.
And then we have Warriors and Lakers, and the Warriors definitely win that one. They needed more than the Lakers do.
Yeah, I'm going Warriors. You seen the LeBron and Curry thing?
Yeah,
That
that
shit
was
was wild.
nothing though. That was nothing. They
He
just
said,
asked LeBron on his show, who's the player that you want to play with, and then he said Curry. He's been flirting with Curry since like All-Star break. Like it's obvious that's who he
the
wants to play with.
last two.
Yeah. Then we
Yeah.
have Bucks at this. Moving on to Friday night.
He gets
Friday
traded to the
night hoops.
Warriors. And I
Oh
wouldn't be
man.
surprised. Just like my imagine.
We got Bucks at Pistons. Bucks
I'm
win
going
this one. Pull
Bucks.
it out. Pistons have been playing good basketball though. I'm not
They
gonna lie
have
to you. Kate Cunningham, rookie of the year. Knicks
Scotty.
at Wizards. The Knicks win this one.
Yeah, I'm going Knicks.
Cavaliers at Nets. This is an
Nets.
important game too. Because I think if the Nets win, they tie for the 7th seed. So they can have home court advantage in the playing game. So this is an important game.
Oh shoot. They need
Rockets,
to win.
yeah. Rockets at Raptors. Give me the Raptors.
Raptors.
We have Hawks at Miami.
Oh, Miami Killers. Hawks.
Give me the Heat. Yo, you be hating, bro. Everything.
Who be here?
You the same
Watch I
person.
lose that. Watch I lose that both to the last two games. Straight up.
Your team needs to worry about not being in the 6th seed. All
Worried
right?
about clinching that first spot, that first seed.
We're fine over here. I'm chilling. I'm not even worried about the 1
Y'all
seed.
better win your last two. That's all I'm saying.
We need to win 1.
Y'all better not sit out nobody. That's all I'm saying.
We could sit people out because I'm not worried about. There's no way we're losing to Orlando. For a
All right.
fact.
All right.
We have Charlotte at Bulls.
Bulls.
Charlotte. Bulls suck. We've seen it again. Again, last night got their ass smoked by the Celtics.
Yo, the Celtics demolished them. That shit was bad.
And then the Bucks did the night before too. Yo, they've had a rough stretch.
Yeah.
What is their
And Lonzo yesterday got announced that
he's out for the rest of the season.
So
They're
what
gonna
does that
shut
mean?
it
Like
down.
out for even the playoffs?
Yeah, he's shutting it down.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. The Bulls are done.
They were done already, but now they're even more done.
They're better off tanking than this season.
Tanking. They're locked into a top 6 seed. Talking about some tanking. But then we have Blazers at Mavericks. Mavericks, obviously, for sure.
Mavs.
Suns at Jazz. Give me the Suns in this
Suns.
one.
Does everybody play though? They set out everybody last year.
Either way, I got the Suns.
Nah, hell no. The Clippers beat them with them. The Clippers beat them. You tell me the Jazz can't beat
By
them?
4. By 4.
Nah, but it was wild. You seen the run they had?
I didn't watch the game. I'm not gonna lie to you.
76 in the third quarter.
I was busy watching Moon Knight. I didn't watch no games yesterday.
Listen to this: 36-76 in the third quarter, and the Clippers won by 4. Imagine that was like 6 minutes left in the third quarter.
Yeah, I really didn't even check it out. I checked the box score for the game this
That's
morning.
wild. The Suns went crazy. They went on a crazy.
Somebody, I've never even heard of this guy before. His name is Ish Wainwright. He came out and had 20 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists. Shot 4 for 8 from 3. He was a plus 36. That's crazy. In a game you lose by 4 points, you finish as a plus 36. Aaron Holiday a plus 30. Biyombo a plus 20. This doesn't even make no sense.
Because they closed out the game. Wow, I told you they was 36-76, and then they went to 100, 100 something. Imagine them scoring.
So they won the
40.
fourth quarter by 22 points, but they lost the second quarter 34-9. The Clippers were up by 39 in this game in the third quarter, and they cut it to 4. That's
Yeah,
crazy. That's crazy. But then we have Thunder at Lakers, Battle of the Bums.
I'm going Lakers.
Moving on to Saturday night, Saturday afternoon hoops, early game, 1 o'clock. Pacers, Sixers,
Sixers.
Sixers. Shout out to Isaiah Jackson. He had a great game the last time he played the Sixers. He had a good amount of blocks. He played great defensively.
But what happened? But what happened?
Come on, we bragging over beating the Pacers now.
Okay, but they still lost. I don't know what you're talking about.
We
Like,
bragging about beating the Pacers, but
they lost.
when it's a losing franchise, you guys got to take every win out on a shoulder, right? You gotta put it on a pedestal. They don't come often. Pelicans, Grizzlies,
Pelicans.
Grizzlies. You sleep. Warriors, Spurs. Give me the
Spurs.
Spurs. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Kings, Clippers. Give me the
Clippers.
Clips. Moving on to Sunday night, Sunday afternoon, early hoops again. Pacers, Nets. Give me the Pacers. Nah, I got the
Nets.
Nets. I'm playing.
Yeah, wow.
A couple early games. We had a couple that started at 3:30. Oh shit. We have Wizards, Hornets again in this one.
I'm going Hornets too.
Bucks, Cavs.
Sheesh. Bucks.
Yeah, for a fact. They might sit guys though, but we'll see. Hawks, Rockets.
Rockets. That's again they win.
I got the Hawks. Celtics, Grizzlies. That's gonna be a
I'm
fun
going
one.
Boston.
If
Though.
anybody plays, these are like the last. These are the last couple.
Yeah,
games
that's the
of
last
season.
game. I think. No, we have to play that. Oh, that would be the last game. We have 3 more. I think.
Yeah, Sunday are the last scheduled games. True. Sunday are the last scheduled slated games. Okay.
The playoffs is around the corners, guys.
So I probably do have the Rockets in this one.
I
It seems
cannot
like
wait. This will be all I've been waiting for all season. The motherfucking playoffs.
a couple more games. Raptors, Knicks. Give me
So that means by Monday we're gonna know
Raptors.
the brackets.
Yeah, the play-in tournament. Yeah, we're gonna have those by Monday.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All I'm
Heat.
saying, I better clinch that first. That's all I'm saying.
Oh my god, dude, you want to put bread? We clinch it.
Nah, hell no. What?
All right, so why are you talking shit if you don't got?
I'm
If
just
you
talking
don't put your money
about
behind it.
shit.
Let me see it.
It's in the-
10. I just got. I had to just check who runs Florida. I had to just check it.
It's definitely Magic.
Oh man, how many rings the Magic got?
I don't know.
All right,
but
I got the Heat. And this is what everybody's sitting too. You're gonna see Omer Yurtseven go for 20 and 20 this game. Watch. It's gonna be the Yurt and Max Drew show. But Pistons,
Yeah, we'll see.
Sixers.
I'm going Sixers.
I'm going Sixers too, but Luka Garza's going for 40.
You wouldn't even believe that. That means Embiid's going for like 100.
Embiid's not gonna play. If Embiid plays in this game, he's just stat chasing.
Why?
Straight. But it's the last game
Look,
of the
this
season.
is the
Why is
same
he gonna
thing. Yo,
play?
you a hater too, bro.
What?
This is the same thing. He played his last game.
When?
And they didn't want to send him out. And he did it just because, so you know what I'm saying, he could prove something to himself this season.
They could play every game of the season. There's literally nothing behind Embiid playing this game. I would expect Celtics to bench their guys, Heat to bench their guys, Philly bench their guys. Every team that's in the playoffs, Luka's not playing on his day. Like it depends. If they have it locked up, then yeah.
We need to win. This is the last game for them. This is the last game for the year. They're gonna go all out.
No, they're not, bro. No team is out there like, oh, we need to win the last game of the season, unless it like.
Yes, because it could matter.
It could if it matters when it comes to if it matters when it comes to that. But if it has no implications, they're gonna rest their guys.
It's gonna matter though. The bracket is too close. Everybody's gonna win the next couple of games.
You guys are tied right now with the Bucks.
The Bulls are gonna fall down because they just lost the Celtics. They got paid. You're saying they got two tough ass
The
games. They're gonna.
Celtics are the Bulls can't fall lower than 6. They're locked into their seed. The Raptors are locked into the fifth seed too, pretty much. The Sixers are tied with the Bucks at the 3 and 4. Bucks have the tiebreaker. So if if the Raptors go out and beat the Sixers tonight, then I would say Embiid's not going to play in this Pistons game, because then that means that you guys would be too far away. That's all I'm saying. If there's
But
no
we can only
implications,
get
they're
the
not going to
two.
play.
We can only get the 3 or the 4. You said.
No, you guys could get the 2 seeds too. It all depends on how it happens. It all depends on who wins tonight. The Bucks and Celtics game has some big implications on that game
Yeah,
too.
and I got the Celtics winning that game.
The Celtics are not beating the Bucks without Robert Williams. Hell no, that's not happening.
Watch.
You want to put bread on this one?
Nah, I'm gonna put bet on my fan dude. That's what I'm gonna do.
Put your money where your mouth is, straight like that.
You funny as hell.
Spurs Mavericks. No,
What you gonna say
Bulls
after my
Timberwolves. I
FaceTime?
got the Bulls.
I got Timberwolves,
Spurs Mavericks. I got the Mavs.
Mavs,
Lakers Nuggets. I got the Nuggets.
Lakers, 9 Nuggets,
Thunder Clippers. Give me the
Clippers,
Clippers. TNT game. Bright lights. Warriors Pelicans.
Pelicans.
Yeah, Zion's playing. Yo, did you see Zion's uncle was like Zion's gonna play this season?
Yeah,
And there's two
he's
games
drunk.
left.
Because they better go to the play-in.
If he just jumps into the play-in, that would be crazy. Kings, Suns in this one as well. They're going for their career record, for their franchise record. And then
Suns,
then we ended off with Jazz TrailBlazers. Last game of the regular season.
TrailBlazers.
And that'll do it for today's episode. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Yo,
We'll be back Monday. MVP, Depoy, Coach of the Year, everything.
yes,
And
sir. End of the season officially. So it's gonna be a great episode. Tune in. We out.
oh shit.